Google may be stalking you, literally. In a few minutes, our exclusive investigation into how that company could very well may be tracking your every move. We've got some major developments on that tonight. But first, House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi delivered the longest speech in House history today. Apparently, she went on for more than 8 hours in an effort to pressure Congress to give amnesty to illegal immigrants.
So now we have the first Republican president in modern times, the first president, really, who is anti-immigrant. To minister to the needs of God's creation is an act of worship. To ignore those needs is to dishonor the God who made us. We're not asking for something off the wall. It is something that is, yeah, maybe it is off the wall. Maybe the wall is the issue here. Floor vote will occur soon after I yield back. I had no intention of yielding back, Mr. Speaker. Those newcomers, with all of that hope and aspiration, they make America more American.
Well, went on like this for many hours, as we said. She said a lot of things, but one thing Pelosi said was striking. Listen as she describes how her grandson badly wishes he were of a different race. Watch.
I'm reminded of my own grandson. He had a very close friend whose name is Antonio, who's from Guatemala, and he has beautiful tan skin, beautiful brown eyes, and the rest. And this was such a proud day for me because when my grandson blew out the candles on his cake, they said, "Did you make a wish?" And he said, "Yes, I made a wish." He said, "Well, what is your wish?" He said, "I wish I had brown skin and brown eyes like Antonio." So beautiful. So beautiful. The beauty is in the mix.
Was it healthy to hate yourself for the way that God made you? Nancy Pelosi thinks it is. And her delight says everything about the modern Democratic Party. Certain races are good, others are bad, so bad that it's considered beautiful to hate your own innate appearance and want it changed. And that, Pelosi is saying, is one of the main reasons she supports mass immigration. So America will look different, and in her view, better than it does now. Now, whatever you think of that idea, it is a genuinely radical sentiment. Nobody has said anything like that on the House floor for a long time. They used to, but they don't anymore, and for good reason. Elevating one race over another is the definition of bigotry. Pelosi may not be sharp enough to understand the consequences of what she just said. She may not even know what she's saying. But if you want to live in a country where everyone doesn't hate everyone else for the color of their skin, you ought not to say things like that. Democrats should stop talking like this in public. In the White House, meanwhile, Chief of Staff John Kelly is being attacked for saying that hundreds of thousands of eligible illegal immigrants likely didn't sign up for DACA, in part because some of them may have been too lazy. Watch.
There are 690,000 official DACA registrants, and the president sent over what amounts to be 2.5 times that number to 1.8 million. The difference between 690 and 1.8 million were the people that some would say were too afraid to sign up, others would say were too lazy to get off their but they didn't sign up.
Well, the left is howling, of course, and jumping up and down like the hyenas they are. But think about what he said. DACA did exist for 5 years. It was a special carve-out for people brought here illegally under the age of 18. And there were a lot of ways the federal government was helping people sign up for it. There were programs and translators and lawyers, a lot of things available to help immigrants apply. And yet more than 1 million people who are eligible to apply to the program failed to do so. Why is that exactly? And what does it tell us about them? Roberto Hernandez is an immigration activist. He joins us tonight. Roberto, thanks for coming on.
Hey, Tucker, how you doing?
I'm doing great. So I think it's a really interesting question. So the majority of the people who were eligible for this program, which I think is unconstitutional in the first place, but it existed, they didn't sign up for the program. Now, maybe some say they were lazy. I don't think that's the explanation. I think they just didn't care. They didn't care about our law. They didn't care about following the rules in a country that's not theirs. And so they didn't. And I think that's worse than laziness, honestly.
You know, Tucker, ay Dios mío. Oh, my God. You know, first of all, I can't believe John Kelly, the chief of staff of the White House of this country, using that kind of language. You know, to me, it's like, it reminds me of the bullies in 3rd grade. And if you really look at why did people not apply? People are afraid, Tucker. Look at all the ICE raids that are going on in this country right now.
Well, but this
the
wasn't. This is not right now.
The fear
this
that
is
people are living in right now.
Right. Okay.
You know, as
so wait, can I just ask you a question?
Brown skin that we are.
Don't give me the skin color thing. It's not about that. It's nothing to do with that. These are citizens of other countries.
They're not picking on any other race. They're not picking on any other race. You know how many other
you are
people
single-handedly making me very against letting any of these people become citizens because you're making it a racial question when it's a question of citizenship. So these people are here illegally. Obama said, look, I'm going to let you stay under this program. I'm going to help you sign up under the Obama administration, not Trump, Obama, 5 years ago. And most of them didn't sign up. And now Trump is saying, I'm giving you citizenship anyway, which I totally disagree with, but whatever. That's the fact. But the point is, they didn't sign up. So what were they afraid of? The Obama people were like, we're helping you, give you a translator, and you still won't do it? Why? Because you don't care, that's why. You don't care about being legal. What's the other explanation?
But let's look, okay, you bring up Trump. Now that you bring up Trump, let's talk about Trump.
It was under Obama, man.
It is, because you know what? He created a crisis for daca. Simple. It wasn't a crisis until he made it a crisis.
Okay, but Roberto,
it's a distraction for this country.
Okay,
when we have so many other issues and crises that we have in this country, that should not be the topic of this subject of what needs to be fixed in this country.
I couldn't agree with you more. You know, we found common ground on that, but
he's using it as blackmail.
Let me ask you a question. Can you? Look. If I have one goal for this segment, it's to get you to. I want you to just answer this one question. Under Barack Obama, who offered this program to people here illegally, he said, "Look, I'm going to let you stay, give you legal status, and I'm going to help you sign up for it. There's nothing I won't do to help you sign up for it." And most of them said, "Not interested. I'm turning down the programs. I'm turning down the translators, the safe spaces you're giving me." Why? Don't tell me they were afraid. He was asking them to sign up and helping them, and they didn't. What's the answer? Why didn't they do that under Barack Obama? Honestly.
Well, that was temporary. And Barack Obama, quite candidly, failed by not getting immigration reform done the first year.
You're not going to answer my question, are you?
No, I am. I'm trying to answer your question. Didn't Barack Obama promise that he was going to do immigration reform the first year that he was in office?
Does the president make the laws in this country, or does the Congress? Do you know?
It's Congress. But
right, there you go. Good.
Obama also had Democratic control House. Nancy Pelosi was the head of that. He also had the Senate that was Democratic control.
Okay, so you're not answering my question. You're not answering my question. It's a really interesting question. I think it tells you a lot about this population that we're about to give citizenship to, who will be voting in our next election. So, or at some subsequent election. So I hope we can get to the bottom of that, because it tells us a lot. Roberto, thank you very much. Good to see you. Now, Google has patents, as we told you the other night, for spying on your home, your bedroom, your kids. But they could already be spying on you through your phone, the one that's in your pocket right now. We're not making this up to